class, this is Dr. McDonald with the video for the Word Chapter 3 Academics in Class Assignment. So again, you would go to Blackboard and go to Word in Class Assignments, and it's the Word Chapter 3 Academics, and you want to download the materials. So for this assignment, we have the instructions. We have the Word document that we're going to be using. Then we have sponsors.docx. So this is a Word file that we're going to import. And then we have two Excel files, faculty.csv and faculty.xlsx. And if you're using a Mac, you want to use the CSV. It tells you that in the instructions. If you're using a regular PC or in the lab, you want to use the XLSX. So you don't need all five, depending on what computer you're using. Most of us would use the XLSX, but if you're using a Mac, use this one. So you want to download all the files, and we're going to start working on the steps for the academics assignment, in-class assignment. So you can see here, just to preview the steps, there are 21 steps. The first step is basically opening the assignment and saving it, and the last step is pretty much saving it. There's a little step here. So we have about 19 steps or so. So the document we're going to be using looks like this. We have a memo, some text in it. So we're going to be working on doing work with tables and also a mail merge. All right. So if you look at the instructions, the project description, let me see if I have it here quickly to grab. There we go. The instructions we'll go through step by step. Anything in blue usually means you have to type it. So if it's capitalized, remember to capitalize it. If it's in caps, type it in caps. So basically, the project description is you're an executive assistant working in the admissions office at a state university, and you are involved with a research project that's exploring the relationship between student GPA and involvement in academic clubs and scholarly activities. So academic and extracurricular data from a random sample of students in the College of Business has been summarized in a Word table that will be included in a brief memo to others on campus. So we're going to edit it, we're going to format the report, we're going to prepare it for final submission. All right. So I'm not going to really bring up the instructions too much, but this is the instructions you should be using. All right. So I'm going to go back to our document. Remember to file and save it. Remember to save it with your own name as well, so you don't get confused with the original document. Okay, so we're going to start off here. It says position the insertion point before the blank paragraph, mark at the top of page 2. So if you look at step 1, it says to display the non-printing characters. So I'm going to go to home, and our characters are right here, and that shows the little paragraph marks and the return marks and all that. So position the insertion point before the blank paragraph at paragraph mark at the top of page 2. So page 2 is right here. So I'm going to click here. Using Century Schoolbook font at 20-point size, enter Karns State University and press enter. So I'm going to change the font first. And I'm going to go to C, Century Schoolbook font. So right here. And 20-point font size. I'm going to type CARNES State University and press enter. And then change the font size to 16. For comparison, student GPA and involvement in college associations. Do not include the period. To press enter. Check the document for spelling and grammatical errors. All names on the table are correct. So I'm going to go back to the beginning of my document, go to review, spelling and grammar. Let's see, group is wrong, so it's suggesting this, so I'm going to click on it. Any kinks working, and you may have different ones that pop up. Working out any kinks in the system, kind of kinks. We can leave it. Also, if you were working on your own paper, if you like how this sounds better, but I'm going to ignore it. Project will undoubtedly be much further reaching, further achieving, so it's up to you, but this we're going to keep as is. And then let's see, overall hours, they put a comma in there. You don't really put a comma, so I'm going to ignore that. And then that's about it. If you have any names, you can just ignore them. Let's see. Okay, that's going to change in a second. Changes. Oh, there we go. There's 100%. Close the editor. Then we're going to move on to step 2. Apply align center alignment to the first row of the table. So we're going to come over here, first row, select that. And we're going to come up to when you are in a table, you have table design and table layout. So I'm going to click on table layout. And under alignment, you have 9 different options. So align center would be right in the center, I believe, and it should say align center. So just make sure you're selecting the correct one. So I'm going to click that. And you can see these are all center. This just puts it more to the top. This puts it more to the bottom. And then these are all on the left line, and these are all on the right. And then this is, top right, top left, bottom left. So if I click on this one, you can see the name moves up to the top, but it's still centered, but we want it aligned center, so I'm going to click there. All right, position the insertion point after the last entry in the last row. So I'm going to come down here, click down there by 115, ending in 115, press tab. I'm going to hit tab, and it opens a new row. Enter the following data, tabbing between all entries except the last one. Leave cells blank that are marked with dashes. Do not enter a dash in the cell. Do not press tab after the last item. So we're basically gonna, let's see, type this up. So we have L0051899. And then we're gonna tab, and we're gonna type Adams, comma, space, Mary. Then we're gonna tab, there's like 3 empty, and then accounting, tab 3.67, and then tab 101. And if you make any mistakes, you can go back and just edit them. And hit tab again. And for this last one, let's see, L005555 and an 8. And then tab it, and then SHOCKNEY, comma, Maria, tab, and there's yes, tab, another yes, capital Y, tab, and then tab to CIS, tab, and then 4.00, and tab to 97. So it should look like this so far. And then it says not to tab after the last item. So that was the 97. So we're going to stop right there. Then step 4, right click any name identified as misspelled if any are shown. So none are really showing on mine. Let me see. Yeah, no. But if they're shown incorrectly, you can right click. Like say, let's say Maria was spelled wrong. You can right click and then, let me see, just to show you. Oh, actually that might be a name, yeah. Do Mary without an A. It's not showing, but usually you can right click and then just hit, usually ignore all, you'll see here with the spelling. So that's like a quick way to edit. Oh, there we go. See with James, it's coming up. So if you right click, if you have a name that's spelled wrong, right click, and then you could do ignore all. But if it was spelled wrong, you can just edit it. All right, so step 4, right click any name identified as misspelled if any are shown, and from the shortcut menu, that's that right click, select ignore all, sort the table by major in ascending order, then by name in ascending order, so that the result is names sorted within each major, all in ascending order. So that's a mouthful. Let's make sure you're in your table, and you want to go up to table layout, and then over here to sort. So you click on that, and this opens up. So if you look at the instructions, it says sort the table by major. So I'm going to click here and click on major. And you can see these headings, ID, name, pi, beta, information system, delta mu, delta, major, DSU, CUME, GPA, overall hours earned, are the same as the titles up here. So we want to select major, and over here we want ascending. So we usually can keep the type in using, and then by, the next one said by major in ascending, then by name. So we're going to come here, and mine are showing because I did it already on this computer. So we want name and ascending. So you can change it, ascending, descending. And so you should have table layout, go to sort, major, ascending, name, ascending, and just click that down button to get those options. The header row stays selected because it's a header row up here, ID, name, major, all that. And all you gotta do is say okay. And you can see within accounting, it sorted it from A to T. CIS only has one. Computer information systems from H to an alphabetical order through S. Computer science, B through S, finance, and so on and so forth. So that's how you would sort, and if you had to go back into it, you come back up to sort, and you can adjust it, and just do it again. So in your table, and then sort. Step 5, indicate that Michael J. Simpson and Andrew Sams, so let's see, Michael J. Simpson right here, and Sams up here, indicate that they are both active in Delta Mu Delta by entering yes in the Delta Mu Delta column for each of the students. So Delta Mu Delta is up here, right here. So for Michael, we're going to come over here and type yes. And for Andrew Sams, we're going to come up here and type yes. So just practice that clicking in the columns and rows and typing it in. Alright, 6. Insert a row above the first row in the table and merge all cells in the newly inserted row. So normally when you need to insert a row, you can do it different ways. So if you're in the table, between the rows, if you come like this, you can see you have plus signs. So you can click on any of these to get a new row. When you come to the top, you don't get that option, but second, third, fourth, you have all that, and then down the bottom, you have that option. So to get a row above, you can just click in that first row, and then you can do two things. You can go up to table layout and go insert row above, or you could right click and go insert, and then you have insert rows above. So I like to right click a lot. So again, I right click, insert rows above, or click in that first row, table layout, and insert row above. So we have that row now. It should look like that. If you don't have your paragraph marks on, it should look like that. So I just have the paragraph marks on, so you're getting all those little symbols. All right, so we're going to merge all cells. So we're going to select all of these cells like this. You don't want to really go outside the table or down. Just select that first row. Then you want to go up to table layout, and you have merge right here. So instead of it being 8 separate cells in that first row, we're going to make it one large cell. So you can see it says merge the selected cells into one cell. So I'm going to click that, and you can see now it's one large one, like that. So we created a new row, we merged all cells. Now we're going to change the font size to 16. So you want to click in here, go to home, and you can either click it here, or if you have the quick window that pops up, sometimes it pops up, you can use that one. Or you can even right click, go to font, let me see, is font showing here? Sometimes font's an option. It's not showing. Alright. Oh, it's right up here when you right click. So you could use it up here. So if I want, let's see. So we're going to change this to 16. And we're going to enter comparison of GPA and student involvement, like that. It says do not include a period, so it should look like this. All right. We're gonna move on to 7. Shade the first row in a gold accent 4, row 1, column 8. So we're gonna go up to our, let's see, select that first row. We can either go to table design, and you have your shading here. So it's a gold accent 4, row 1, column 8. So this would be row 1, and then we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this should be gold accent 4. So this is the one we want, so I'm going to click on that. Select all text in the third row through the end of the table, beginning with L0051899. So this one, L0051899, ending with 98. So ending with over here. So it went to a second page, so don't stress over that. So you have a few options. You can click and drag it all the way down to the end, or you could usually click before it, hold shift, and then click in here, and it would select it. So again, that's click before the L, hold shift, and then click after the 8, and it's selected it all. So whatever you prefer, just select it all. So let's see, we did that, we selected all the text, and the table may span 2 pages. I mentioned that. Bold the selection, so we're going to come up to home and bold. And step 8, we're going to select the entire table. So to do that, you can just click up here. When your table's selected, you have this little option. When your table's not selected, you don't see it. Or, well, sometimes it pops up. So when you're in your table, just click this, and it will select your entire table. So you can see it's selecting everything. So we have the entire table selected. Select a pen color of gold. So now we're going to go to table design, and you can see pen color on the top over here. So let's see, let's go through it one by one. Select a pen color of gold accent 4. So pen color, mine's already on gold, but let's see, this is gold accent 4. So you want to click on this, but you can see when you change the pen color, it changes all the colors here. So if I click this one, it changes all that. So we want gold accent 4 right here. So I'm going to click that, and notice I get a little paintbrush. Alright, and then the line weight should be 1.5 points. So we're going to come over here to line weight and select 1.5. And we still have a little paintbrush. And then it says ensure that a single line border is shown. So up here you have a single line border, and you have other options. So you don't really have to do that. And then it says apply the selection to all borders. So basically you would come to borders, and let's see, so we selected the pen color, we selected the line, so I'm going to redo this because I was clicking too much, 1.5. I have my paintbrush, and then we go to borders, and we want all borders. So we're going to come to this all borders right here, and you can see how it looks. So this is just an outside, this is all borders. So it goes on every single line chosen. So it turns the lines to that 1.5 point and to that color that we selected. So I'm going to click on all borders, and it should look like this. And we still haven't really touched the first page. Okay, so we're on 9. Insert a row below the last row in the table. So we're going to go down to that last row, and we're going to click that plus sign, or we could go to table layout and insert row below. But make sure you're clicked in that last row to insert it below, or you could right click in here and go insert row below. So whatever you prefer. I think the plus sign down here is probably the easiest. So whatever you prefer. We're gonna type enter average in the first cell on the new row. So average is in caps. So like that. We're gonna press tab 6 times till we reach the CSU CUME GPA column. So that is the column right here, the second to last column. So I'm gonna, let's see, hit tab 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're right here. And we're gonna include a formula that averages all the values in the column above. So that would be all these right here. This all the way down to here. So to do that, you want to come up to table layout and click on formula. So the formula that pops up is equals sum parentheses above and close the parentheses. So we don't want the sum, we want a formula that averages all the values. So we're going to replace sum. So I'm going to click in there by sum and backspace it and put in average. So it should be equals the equal sign, average, open parentheses, above, and close parentheses. And once you have that, that's about it. The number format option gives you options for commas and dollar signs and percentage signs. So when you're working within a table, and if you have numbers, you can put those in. And then the others are, you won't really use them as much, the paste form. So equals average, open parentheses, above, close parentheses, and then hit OK. And it should come out 2.9645. And again, we went up to table layout, click in this cell, table layout, formula, equals average, open parentheses, above, close parentheses, hit OK. And that's how I could see that the formula is there and that you just didn't put in 2.9645. All right, so we have the formula. Now we're going to go to step 10, view the document in multiple pages. So we're going to go to view, multiple pages right here. Noting that the table is split between 2 pages, return back to 100%. So view 100%. Select the first 2 rows. So basically we're going to notice how when you look at the table like this, you can see all the titles, but when you come down here, you can't. So if you didn't know what 98 was or what these yeses were, then you'd have to scroll back. So we can actually copy those 2 header rows to repeat them. So let's say it says select the first 2 rows. So we're going to select them like this. Actually, I'm going to select it backward. There we go. So we select the first 2 rows. And then we're going to table layout. And select the option to repeat header rows. So you're going to come up here where it says repeat header rows. And I'm going to just click it. So first remember to select these first 2 rows. and then table layout, repeat header rows. So now when we scroll down, you can see it repeated on the next page. So it's a pretty cool feature. And if we had more than 2 pages, it would repeat it. All right, so let's move on. Let's see, did I do everything? Multiple pages, return, select the first 2 rows. Okay, so step 11 is insert a row between Frederick Davidson. So let's find him right here. And David Stump. Insert a row between them. So after Davidson, we're going to click the plus sign right here. So we want a row in between these two. And place the insertion point in the first cell of the new row. Enter the following record. Tabbing between cells. Do not enter a dash in a cell. Leave the cell blank. So we're going to enter L00500. L00500. 932. And John's. So we're going to tab. It's Jons. Lacey, Lacey, capital L, and then we're going to tab, and there's dashes. I'm going to type a yes, and tab, and type yes again, and tab. I'm going to type computer science, tab 3.89, and tab 130. So if you need to insert a record, that's simply how you would do it. 12, update the average in the last row to reflect the addition of the new record. So basically all you would do is come down here, to formula again, and the formula is still good, just hit OK, and you can see it updated the average. So again, just make sure you go to formula, looks good, hit OK. And it should update it to now 3.0015 because we entered that new record. Okay, so step 12, we updated the average. Now insert a caption for the table, ensuring that the label is table, and that the caption shows below the table. Enter table 1 colon space GPA and student involvement. Do not include the period. So let me go back and put my paragraph marks on. So you can see there's a paragraph mark right here. So we're going to insert the caption for the table, ensuring that the label is table and below the table. So we're going to click here. And we're going to go to references, and we're going to go to insert caption, and we're going to select table if it's not already showing. So if you click this down, you can see you got an equation, a figure, and a table. So we want table, and then we're going to come up here and do a colon and a space, and we're going to type GPA in caps, GPA, and student involvement, like that. No period, and once you have that, just hit OK, and it should pop in. So that's the correct way to do the labels for tables. Obviously, you can type it below, but that's not the correct way to do it. So again, we just clicked in here, went to insert caption, put the semicolon, or the colon, I'm sorry, put a colon, space, and then typed GPA and student involvement, and hit OK. Sorry about that, my dog was barking. We are on step 13 with the insertion point located after the caption. So we're going to click here. Right here. enter twice, 1, 2, and insert the text from the file sponsors.docx. So when we initially downloaded the files for this assignment, you have a file called sponsors.docx. So remember in chapter 1, we went home. Sorry, we went insert. How to think about that? Insert, come over to object, click the down arrow, and then go text from file. So you don't want to just click on object because you have two options here. So you want to do text from file, and then you're going to find where that file is. So mine was in a folder. You can see up here, put it in a folder. I want to click on sponsors, document, and then we're basically going to say insert. So insert, and it's going to pop here. So just to show you too, I just want to show you what this file looks like. The sponsors file looks like this. So it's basically 1, 2, 3, 4. It looks like you have 4 rows and 4 columns of data, but it's not in a table yet, it's just tabs. So these are tab marks, and you can see the tabs up here. So there's 1, 2, 3. So that's where the tab starts. Tab starts here, tab starts here. Alright, so I'm going to just close that. Alright, so again, you want to go to insert, object, click the down arrow, and text from file. Find where the sponsors file is, click on that, and go insert, and it should pop in like that. Alright, so you now have inserted that text. So with the newly, step 14, with the newly inserted text from sponsors through K177, you want to select it. So I'm going to select it like this. It doesn't matter whether you select the paragraph mark following, so this is the paragraph mark they're talking about, following K177, but do not select the blank paragraph on the next line, so don't select this. Alright, convert the selection to a table, confirming that the new table will include 4 columns and 4 rows. So like I said, this is 4 rows. 2, 3, 4. So if we put that in a table. So basically select it, then go up to insert, and you want to click the down arrow for table. You want to come down here where it says convert text to a table. So basically you're going to turn this into a table because it was set up with tab marks, or you could do it if there's paragraph marks as well. So convert it. So I'm going to click on this. So you can see here 4 columns, 4 rows. Let's see, fixed width, and then it's separated by tabs, so it knows that, but it could be separated by paragraphs and commas or whatever. So you don't have to do anything here. They said just make sure it's 4 columns, 4 rows, and then just say OK. So when we do that, it turns into a table. Let's see, so that was 14. Step 15, right click anywhere in the selected table, and from the shortcut menu, select table properties. So I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to right click, and you have table properties down here. So it could be anywhere in the table, right click, table properties. So with that selected, you want to select the column tab. So notice you have table, row, column, cell, alt text. So we're going to select column, and then it says to ensure that the preferred width checkbox is selected. So this is preferred width. So we want to make sure it's selected. and change the width to 2. So from 144, we want to just either put a 2 in there or use the up arrow. Make sure it's a 2. And then click OK. Before we do that too, when you go to table properties, I'm going to show you another way in a second. It'll bring up these 5 tabs. You can click on table, and this is where you can center your table if you want to center it. So alignment. So I'll show you that in a second. So we clicked on column, clicked on preferred width, and the 2. Put a 2 in there. So I'm going to say OK. And I didn't select my table. Let me see. Let me do that again. So select your table, right click, and table properties, column, select that, and then a 2. So I'm sorry, I didn't have my table selected. Hit OK, and there you go. So to select your table again, remember you can either highlight it all like that, or you want to just come up here and select it. And then while it's selected, right click, table properties, and go to column. Make sure this is checked, and make sure you put a 2 and hit OK. So just make sure you cover all the directions, not like me skipping certain parts. All right, so we did that. Step 15 says apply a table design of grid table 4 accent 4. So now when you're in your table, we're going to go up to table design. And if you click this down arrow right here, you can see you have plain tables, grid tables, and list tables. So it said to use grid table for accent 4. So pretty much we have the yellow, so that's grid table 1, light accent 4. If I keep moving down, grid table, let's see, that's probably 2. So we want grid table 4. So it's probably this one, grid table 4 accent 4. Yep. So we're going to click this one, and it should look like that. And change the font color of the first row of the table to black text 1. So you can see this font is white, so we're going to select the entire row like that, and then either change the font here or come up to home, change the font here to black text 1. So it's this second one right here, and it should look like that. So that is 15. 16, center the table horizontally on the page. So there's 2 ways to do it. The easiest way is probably to select the table, and then you can use that quick button that popped up right here, and you can center it this way. You can come home, you can center it this way, so you can see it centers. Or you could go to table layout and properties, which will open this window where we were at before. Or you could right click and you have table properties here, and you can go to table and hit center and OK. So I mean, to be honest, the easiest one is probably selecting this, and just when you're home or using the quick window, just going to center. So whatever you prefer, just want to show you different ways. So we center that, insert a caption below the table that reads table 2, faculty sponsors, do not include the period, increase the indent of the caption by 0.5 inches. So we're going to come down here, and again, we're going to go up to references, insert caption, and it should come up table 2. So we're going to do table 2 colon space, and we're going to put faculty sponsors like that, and it's already on a table option, so you don't need to change it. And we're basically going to say OK. And now the last part is to increase the indent of the caption by 0.5 inches. So You could either, let's see, come here and you could drag this here to right here. So this is 1 inch, 2 inches, so 0.5 would be right here. Or if you're in front of it, you can hit tab and it should put it right there. The first line indent. So you can also see, let's see, I can go to layout and indent the left as well. This should work. Let's see if we increase it. Yep, so you can see that's 0.5 indent and moved it over. So you have a few options. You can usually tab it. You can go to layout, indent, and do it that way, or you could use the little options on the ruler and drag it over. All right, so we did that. Now we're going to do the mail merge. So, and let me just show you how it's looking so far. Let's see, go to home, turn off the paragraph marks, go to view, let's go to multiple pages. So it looks like this so far. We got that. We have that. I don't think I was supposed to center anything, was I? If I missed anything, let's see. Enter comparison. Place the insertion point at the top using accords. Press enter. Change the font size. Enter that. Press enter. I think we're good. All right, and then the third page looks like this. Okay. All right. So now let's do the mail merge. So that's print layout. So I'm just going to go back to 100% and increase it. All right, so step 17, begin the mail merge for letters using faculty.xlsx as the data source. So again, if you're on a PC, use the faculty.xlsx. If you continue reading that step, it'll say, note Mac users, select the text file faculty.csv as a recipient list, responding affirmatively if asked to confirm any file conversion activities. So basically, if you're using a Mac, use the file ending in CSV. If you're using a PC, regular laptop or whatever, or if you're in the lab, you want to use the XLSX. So we're going to go, let's see, we're going to go to mailings. And we're going to start the mail merge. So if you read the instructions, begin a mail merge for letters. So we're going to click start mail merge, click here, and click on letters. All right, so it didn't really do much. It just blinks. And then autosave has been turned off. Okay. Select recipients. So we're going to come here and it says to find that file, faculty.xlsx. So we're going to go to use existing list and I'm going to find that file. I think I would have put it someplace easier. Let's see, Word 2025, chapter 3. Okay, here it is. So you can see here's two faculty files. One says Microsoft Excel, comma, separated values, and this one says Microsoft Excel worksheet. So this is the CSV, comma, separated values, and this is the one that you would use if you're on a PC. So Microsoft Excel worksheet, PC, the one that says comma, separated values is the CSV file for Mac. So I want my second one right here. So I'm going to click on that and hit open. And it basically says you will use the sheet $1 worksheet. So if you had an Excel document with multiple sheets, it would show multiple sheets here. So we only have one sheet. So that's selected, and then first row of data contains column headers. So basically, I'll show you the Excel worksheet in a second. So we're just going to say okay. All right. So let me show you the Excel worksheet. So it looks like this. So you don't have to open it. I just wanted to show it to you. We're going to start Excel next week. So if you haven't used Excel before, don't be stressed. But you can see there's what? Columns, A, B, C, D, E, F, and they're lettered. Rows, and they're numbered. Then we have title, last name, first name, association, phone, and office. And then basically in each cell, similar to a table, you have their titles, last name, first name, all typed in, and so on and so forth. So we got 3 records here. Nothing large, but just wanted to share it with you. So I'm going to go back to what we were working on. So remember, we went to, you don't have to do it again, we started the mail merge, we select the letters, then we went to here, we used existing list, we found that list, faculty document. So you want to find the right faculty document, the Excel one, ending in LSX if you're on a PC, and ending in CSV if you're on a Mac. Alright, so you would select it and just hit open. We don't have to, let's see, yeah, we're not doing any sorting or filtering. If we were, you would come here to edit recipient list, and you could see here you could sort, you could filter, you can also sort using these buttons. So just in case if you need to use them, you can use that. Alright, so once you do that, let's see, 18, position the insertion point before the paragraph mark following TO. So let me put my paragraph marks on. So here's the paragraph mark, here's 2. On page 1, insert the merged field of title, press spacebar. So we're going to come back to mailings and insert merge field, so right here. So we're going to come up here and we're going to insert the field's title, and then we're going to press the spacebar, and then we're going to insert the merged field of first name. So we're going to come back up here, do first name, and then press spacebar, and then insert the merge field of last name, go last name, and then it says click before the paragraph mark. So this one's done. So we have the title, a space, you can see the dot in the center here, first name, and a space with a dot, and then last name. So this is like a code, so if I click on it you can see that goes back to the Excel spreadsheet, so you can't just type it in there. And then the second part of that is click before the paragraph marks following date. So we're going to click here and enter April 14th. Here. And April 14, comma, 2026. So, and I forgot a space. I'm going to go in there, put a space. So if I take the paragraph marks off, they look like that. Alright, so you had title, space, first name, space, last name, and then April 14th, comma, 2026. So put my paragraph marks back on. Step 18. Step 19, we're going to preview our results and finish the merge. So basically, we come back up to mailings. If you're not already on it, you come over here to preview results. So you can see we started it. We select the letters. we found the file that we uploaded. Then we didn't sort or filter, but we would use that. And then we clicked over here to 2 and we inserted the title. And then we put in a space, then we came back up here, we did the first name, we put in a space, we came back up to the last name, and then we clicked down here and typed April 14th, comma, 2026. Then we come over here and we preview the results. So it should come up Miss Paula Sand, and you can see we're still, everything else, 3 pages. And then if you click that again, it goes back to what it was. So you want to click it so you can see the name. Keep that. And then it says finish the merge. So finish the merge, editing individual documents and merging all. So you want to come over to finish and merge. And so you want to click on that. And then all, so you got all, and we're going to say okay. So the merge document should contain 9 pages. So I just want to point out, look at the name of your document, which is, let me see, I don't think my thing is capturing it up here, but your title should be at the top up here, right? Your file name. So look at that file name, because when we hit OK, it's going to open a new document and it's going to say letters 1. So I'm going to hit OK. You should see at the top of your document now, it says letters 1 or letters 2. Mine says letters 2 because I probably have something else open that's a letters 1. All right. So notice now, this document is 9 pages. If I look down here to the bottom left, 1 of 9. So we have Miss Paula Sand and the letter and the group, the tables. We have Robert Lewis, the letter, the tables, and then Kelly Alexander, the letter, and the tables. So if you made a mistake with the date or the spacing, it will make that mistake on every memo page. So if you have to adjust anything, it was probably better to do it before the merge, but you can always adjust it now. So this is actually you completed the merge. So if you were doing a mail merge or labels or whatever, you could basically just save this file and print it and you're good to go. These are your records. All right. It's 9 pages, you'd be done. The last step is basically more like so you understand what happened and that there's 2 documents and that you can follow the directions. So the last step basically says select all of the merged document and copy the selection. So this is the merged document, the 9 pages. So the one that has letters 1 at the top. All right. So you want to select everything. So you can hit Control A, and that selects the entire document if you want. So these are all shortcuts, or you can just, select it like this and drag it all the way down if you want. It's up to you. I think it's easier to use Control A. So, don't want to be up there. So hold Control and hit A, and that selects everything. So now it says select all of the merged document and copy the selection. So we're going to come up here to Home, and over here you have copy. So notice it says Control C too, so you can hold Control and hit C if you want to copy that way, or you can click that to copy it. All right. Then it says, and I'm going through this because you're going to have this in the homework and you're going to have it like this on the exam. So it notes and I just realized I skipped a step, but we'll come back to that. Or did I? No, we did. We're okay. So 20. Select all the merged document and copy it. Okay, so we did all that. We selected all and we copy. Okay, great. Display the other document, which you probably renamed with your name, but that was the original document we were working on with the 3 pages. So if I come back here, this, I named it ending in video. this was my original document. It should have a different name at the top, and it should have 3 pages at the bottom. So this is the one we were originally working on. So we have Paula Sand, our table, and that. It should be 3 pages only. So basically it's telling you to bring up that file, right? Document and insert a page break. So you can see I have a paragraph at the end of page 3. If you don't have this, you can click here, but click here. And we want to go to insert a page break. You want to go to insert page break, and you can see it put in a page break, and now we're on page 4. And basically it says to paste all copied text resulting in a 13-page document. So remember, we copied the text before. So all we need to do now is make sure we're clicked here, go to home, and hit paste up here, or Control V. So I'm just going to hit paste. And now, give it a second, we should be showing 13 pages. So sometimes it has to just scroll. Computer's a little slow. I don't know why it's not showing 13, but let's see. It will in a second. Starting to change. Here we go. 13 of 13. Too slow, too slow. All right, so what we have here is our first 3 pages plus our 9 pages that we pasted, so that, 3, 9, that's 12, and then we have a blank page at the end. So if you remember, our first 3 pages were Miss Paula Sand, the table, and the second part of the table. All right, so Miss Paula Sand, the table, and then the 3rd page. And then we pasted the 9 pages. So we have Miss Paula Sand, the table, and the second part. Then we have Dr. Robert Lewis, the table, and the other part. And then Kelly Alexander, the table, and the other part. And then lastly, we have the 13th page with just 2 paragraph marks. All right, so at this point, you want to just save your work. So File, Save As, or Save. And this is what you want to upload. So it's the 13 pages. So again, without the paragraph marks, it should look like this. So page 1, Miss Paula Sand, you get the date, we got her table, pasted the 9 pages. So we got Miss Paula Sand here, the table, the second part, then we have the next person, Robert Lewis, the table, and again, it's showing some grammar suggestions, so you can always go through that again if you want to delete it. But let's see, Robert Lewis, the table, and the second part, and then Kelly Alexander, the table, second part, and then there's just a blank page. You can't see it with the paragraph marks on, but if I go to home, put the paragraph marks on, you can see the 2. So that's about it. So you want to save it, and again down here you can see 13 of 13, or if I click up here, 1 of 13, so it's 13 pages. So I hope this video helped. Let's see, that last step 21, select the mailings tab. Oh, one last thing, select the mailings tab, select start mail merge. So we're going to come back to references, mailings, go to start mail merge, and then we're going to select normal Word document right here. And basically we're doing that for purposes of grading this project, because normally it's connected to the Excel document. So it says here, for purposes of grading project, you will need to save the document as a Word document without linking the data source, which is the Excel document. So basically, you probably don't have to do that. This is just for purposes of this assignment and for the exam, whatever. So we went to mailings, start mail merge, and normal Word document. Because normally if they're connected, you get a message saying that they're connected and you have issues sometimes opening it or accessing it. So after you do that, just remember, save it again, file, save a copy. This looks good, save, and replace it, yeah. So then you would go back to Blackboard and upload the file. You would find your file, hit open. Yeah, of course, I didn't close the file. Let me go back and close this. Okay, open it. I always forget when your file's open, you can't upload it. So hopefully this works now. Should be the one ending in video. Let's see, that was my instructions. Oh, right here, video. Chapter 3 on the 30th. So I'm going to say open, and you would upload it, and that's about it. And so if you have any questions, feel free to ask me in class. The file that we were working on that has letters, or letters 2, or letters, it's probably letters 1. You don't need this file as long as you have your 13 pages, so you could close this out. You don't need to save it if you don't want to. You just want to make sure you have your 13 pages. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed chapter 3, doing tables and working on the mail merge. So remember, insert, you have your tables here. You could use these options to say insert your table. You can come here, insert table, and pick number of columns and rows. You could also draw a table if you need to. And like we did in the other example, we selected the tab text, and then we came to here and we converted the text to a table, which was an option. So that's that. And then for mailings, if you're doing one label, you could use this right here. So if you click on that, it says, like, of course it's, there we go. You put your address, full label with the same, full page with the same label, or a single label, so you can use that. If you're doing labels from an Excel spreadsheet, if you have all names and addresses on an Excel spreadsheet, you want to come here and select labels. Or if you're doing email messages or letters, that's the only thing that's different. You would still select the existing list, and then you could use this when it's open to sort or to filter. And then you could do the insert merge fields, or if it's a greeting block, you can use this as well. You can watch my I talked about the address block and greeting line, so you can always ask me about that. Then you would preview your results and finish and merge, selecting all the files. So I hope this was helpful. Like I said, if anything, ask me in class, and take care.